Okay, we are back. I hope you enjoyed the intro. It's actually a snippet from the next video that I'm gonna post. Try to do like a cinematic short using the Sony A7iii and a little bit of cheating. I use some of this camera as well because I can't film the Sony A7iii using the Sony A7iii. Today's video is gonna be about the Sony A7iii. On the Sony A7iii, we've got 85mm lens, probably the only lens I have at the moment. This is the camera that I'm talking about today. It was made in 2018 and it's become a staple in the videography and photography community. People use it mainly for photography, but I know a lot of people that have used it for videography, filmmaking. I think the Sony A7iii might be the camera that propelled Sony into being probably the largest camera manufacturer about right now. But yeah, I think the Sony A7iii is quite a revolutionary camera. I'm going to try and discuss why I think the Sony A7iii is still a useful camera. Now, let's start with some of the cons first. I would say that the menu system isn't really great. I know that they're a bit different in some of the newer models, like the A7S III and the FX3. The A7iii hasn't got, for me personally, the most intuitive menu system. I've used a lot of other camera brands, Fujifilm and Lumix, and I think the menu system on those cameras have been a little bit more easier to follow and understand. Another negative that this camera has is that it's not a fully articulating screen. It's a screen like this, so you can't really like flip it and see yourself in it. It does require using the imaging app on your phone if you want to see yourself. If you like to record yourself like I'm doing right now, probably not the most ideal. It's not the worst thing in the world. There is a recording limit. Another con that this camera has, it doesn't have open gate, so it kind of helps if you have any deliverables to clients or you just kind of like shooting like this. That's my only real cons about this camera. But yeah, let's go with the pros. And speaking of pros, I would say that this is a camera made for pros. Let me just put it over here. The main reason I wanted to move the camera over there is so that I could record using it, because I think it's important for you to see the image from a camera like this. You can see it's so good. You can see that it's so crisp. I mean, the autofocus is so good. You know, it's gonna focus on my hand and then it's gonna focus back on my face. So it's really good there. Build quality is really good. It definitely feels quite strong and rugged, definitely usable in difficult conditions, in bad weather and whatnot. It's going to be a camera that you can sort of utilize and learn from as a beginner as well. Like, to be honest, you shouldn't really be reaching the limitations of a camera like this. You can map basically every button on this camera, which is quite useful. It's got every professional level feature that you might need. The resolution that you're going to get in terms of video footage is really good. It's really crisp. As you saw in maybe some of the intro, the photography and the photos you can get from a camera like this, it's sort of now the industry standard. People are just using Sonys, and I can see why. There's so many lenses available. You can get some really professional level G-series lenses, or you could go with some cheaper alternatives. There's some other brands like Tamron. Every lens is essentially available to the Sony user. The fact that you can use the APS-C line lenses kind of shows that there's a really nice upgrade path, because you could have an A6400 and then you can move up to the full frame. S-Log is a pretty decent picture profile to grade. I've used it for a little bit and it's definitely got a lot of flexibility. So yeah, don't be too afraid to use S-Log. It comes built in with this camera. You can crank up the ISO on this camera a lot. You can go to, I mean, it introduces grain, but it introduces grain at a higher ISO. One of the best low light cameras I've ever used. Sony have just got that, they just know what they're doing there. And yeah, that's pretty much all the positives that I can think of off the top of my head for this camera. The conclusion to this is that it's an amazing camera. The Sony is a machine and a half. The features it has, the lenses available, you're really not making a mistake if you want to go that route. I can say, objectively speaking, that the Sonys do feel like a machine as well. So the shooting experience is definitely good, but I have had a bit more enjoyment from some other cameras personally. Yeah, I've shot music videos, I've shot weddings, I've shot so many different events, portraits. Like it's so useful, and I don't think I've even scratched the surface of what this camera is really capable of. Is this camera good enough now? Is this camera worth it now? Of course it is. You could ask that question probably 5 years time and you still would get the same answer. It's a camera that's gonna probably be timeless because yeah, where we are in photography and videography, I don't think things are gonna change that much. I think this is a great camera for loads of people. I think if you want a camera that has great autofocus, has great low light capabilities, and it has pretty much all the features you need it to have, you want to do some photography and you want to do some videography, a Sony A7 III is definitely not going to be a bad purchase for yourself. I think you can get Sony A7 III for maybe under £1,000, $1,000. Definitely not going to go wrong with getting this camera. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe for more stuff. Let me know that you are feeling this, and if you're feeling these kinds of videos, I'm not sure if I'm the best reviewer. I'm about to release a lot more videos, hopefully. I've got another camera review. That's going to be a big one because that's the camera I'm filming on right now. It's actually a camera that was made this decade, believe it or not. See, I don't just make reviews on cameras that are over 5 years old. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, make sure you drop it a like and subscribe and all of that kind of stuff. But yeah, in a bit, let's press the off switch.
I should learn the focus button. That's okay, but it's okay, it's good, it's good. What do you want from me, bro?